Right now, I'm going to show you how to do talking head videos using the Sony ZV-1F. We're going to go over setting up your camera on a tripod. We're going to go over audio, then we're going to go over lighting. So first of all, for this video and for all of my videos, a lot of them anyways, I use a really nice tripod. It's not necessary, but it really does help having a nice tripod. This is a 3-pod tripod that I'm using. It's got tons of options here. You can adjust it to different heights. It does have a nice swivel head, so if you want to do some panning or movement, tilting, things like that, it's got a nice smooth head for that. And then you can also level it. When I first started, you don't really think about these things, but when you get into post-production, if you've recorded everything and things are off, even just a couple degrees, it really does mess things up. So having it level to start is actually really important, especially for talking head videos. Now, if you do have room, you can always zoom into the shot and then fix it if it was off-centered, but having things centered to begin with is really important. The next thing is audio. So right now I am using the Anchorwork. It's the M650. This is a wireless microphone system. So I have this connected directly into the camera itself. So the camera here does have an audio input. It's a 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch audio input jack. And this is the receiver that comes with this wireless lavalier microphone system. And as soon as it plugs in, it recognizes that the audio is being input into the camera and picks it up immediately. So there's nothing else that you have to do. As soon as you plug something in there, it recognizes it and starts recording it, as long as it's compatible with the Sony ZV-1F. And most of them are, in my opinion, or in my experience. Then I have a lavalier microphone here that has about a 4-foot cord here that connects to the transmitter, and that is what's being picked up. Same kind of thing here. As soon as I plug this in, it recognizes that it does have an input there, and then this becomes the device that it's picking up. Now, the cool thing about this wireless system is that it does have 2 transmitters, so you can have 2 subjects, so you can do either background noise, ambient kind of noise with this one, or you can use this for another person. So that's great. So maybe you're doing interviews or something like that. You can have another subject using this. Now, you don't have to use the lavalier microphone. I like to. I think a lot of creators are using just kind of the microphone right out of the box. And then I know viewers, myself and others included, I don't think we really care if there's a microphone in the shot anymore. We know that that's how you get audio, through a microphone. So showing that microphone isn't really a big deal. So that's the system that I like and I use for my audio. Now, if you don't have this set up or it's not in your budget, you could just do a lavalier microphone that plugs directly into the camera. Again, it does need to be compatible, but in that case, those are a lot cheaper, a lot more cost effective, and then you could just run that cord however you need to onto your subject. You could also do a shotgun mic. The top of the camera here does have a shoe that you could put a shotgun mic on. And then finally, lighting. So for my lighting, I just have 2 studio lights here, and they are kind of just offset to me. They're about 3 feet away from me, and these are really common lights. So these are LED lights. They do have adjustments, so you can change the temperature setting on it. So you can just kind of play with the different settings. It's just a little button here on the actual cord of it, and you can cycle through the different lighting options. So it's got tons of different options there, and you kind of just pick the one that you want to light your subject with. So I kind of like the softer, whiter light. Kind of just depends on the setup and the mood that you're trying to set. For the video, you can have some kind of that warmer yellow light. So these are really common, easy to get. They're really light and portable, and I like the new system here on the LED lights. So for lighting the subject, I like to kind of just set one off to the left, off to the right, so it brings 2 angles of light onto your subject, onto me, in this case for the talking head videos, so there's not a bunch of shadows and dark spots. When you get lighting that's kind of like this, if it was up above or below, things start looking a little weird in my opinion, and it can be distracting. But of course it kind of depends on the mood of the video that you're trying to create, but this is kind of a traditional talking head lighting system. Now, if you wanted to, you can even get a little bit more in depth here with your lighting. Having something behind you really helps you pop out and kind of be the center of attention. It kind of separates you from the background. So lighting the background is going to do that. So I do have another light here that I can show you. This one might be a little bit over lighting the background, but you can see there, it kind of just sets a different tone there. I think they both have their place there, but if I turn that off, see, it's a little bit different on kind of how it lights the background. So you can play around with that, just kind of lighting the background in different ways to see what you like and what kind of fits the video that you're doing. A couple other things that I like to do and other creators like to do is you create other separation between you and the background, and that's by putting specific lights. So the monitors on themselves create that light, but you can also get a lamp and put that in the background as well, which is a cool thing that people do. Now, if you have even more separation between you and the background, things are gonna get a lot more dramatic and they'll get a lot more blurry as well. A cool feature here with the Sony ZV-1F is that you do have the defocus button here, which makes the background blurry automatically. So you don't have to do any production on that. You don't have to edit it and make it look like that later. You can just push a button here on the Sony ZV-1F and it will do that for you. So just here with the click of a button, you can go from focused and clear or to blurry background. Now again, it really does change dramatically if you have more separation as well. So if these computer screens or the light was further away from me in the background, it would be even more blurry. And it's a really cool effect that I've seen a lot of creators do. So that's how I do it. The kind of last thing that you're gonna want to look at, of course, is the space itself. So my studio is a big old mess, but you can't see it because I have curated what I want you to see. So behind me, everything's nice and clean and orderly. And I do like I painted this wall specifically black just to kind of give it that separation. When you have a white background, everything kind of blends into it. So having that different contrast and color really helps me pop out for my talking head videos. So there you go. That's how you kind of do it here with the Sony ZV-1F. The cool thing about this camera is that you don't have to do anything else. I didn't have to white balance. I didn't have to set aperture. I didn't have to go in and do all these different settings. I turned the camera on, and these are the default settings that it came with. I hit the record button, and here we are. So I love it as for what it is at the price point and all of that stuff and ease of use. It's a great camera, especially for creators. So hopefully that was helpful. I do have other videos on the Sony ZV-1F. Feel free to check those out next. Again, my name is Drew. I'll see you later.